Hello everyone, this is Fireally, and today I'm trying out something a little different than normal. I'm doing a review. I was able to get my hands on Shiro's new game Northgard a week before release, thanks to a little Twitter conversation, and I decided to review what content we have currently to you guys, since there's already plenty of Let's Plays out there, so without further ado, let's meet these classes. Fenrir, or the Wolf Clan, is the first one that Shiro announced online. This one is all about attack. Take them out. Their special thing they get later on is the Berserker, and in-game he's kind of like a second war chief, which I will talk about later. However, these guys have a tough early start, but they're much better at attacking, which takes place later in the game. Fenrir, or the Elk Clan as I call them, they're about being popular. So they get a boost of goods from the start and get perks, getting more happiness and productivity closer to the end of the game. Their special thing is the brewery, with their own special building that makes fame as a side product. I guess their drunk people must have plenty of spiffy stories to tell. Hydrun, or the Goat Clan, is the one I personally like best. They are built for endurance. As a result, they start out with a food resource and can build a sheep pen right off the bat for a passive food supply. I never was actually able to make the sheep pen as the Wolf Clan. They get a free upgrade late game, and their feasts are the best thus far. One of their special tech is to build towers at no building cost, which makes for the best defense. You can see that we are going to have at least 5 when the game is done being developed, so I suspect we will probably see another 2 colors as well. Maybe we'll have a pink sheep clan. And now I'm going to become the greatest leader ever. Set sail to Northgard! Okay, great. I spawn up against the cliff. This part of the game is one of the slower parts because there's not much you can do except build a scout camp and a house. Realistically speaking, the sheep pen isn't even needed at this point. Fundamental mechanics you will learn right here off the bat is that you can only select one or all of one kind of unit, and there's no Blizzard real-time strategy grouping nor wireframing. In addition, your villagers are what you use to cycle into other kinds of units you need by sending them to that corresponding building. Grab one of them with a left click and then right click on that building, and that will guide them all the way over to there, and then boom, they're a new guy. Another thing to note is the hexes. Like Civilization, you can only build in a hex, but it does matter where you put it to some degree. For example, the defense tower shoots as far as the hex's borders go, so it isn't a bad idea to put it back where it can shoot enemies a couple of times before it gets attacked. Or if you build a woodcutter's lodge, make sure you don't tear down all your trees in the process, otherwise you're kind of being counterproductive. When you left click a hex, it'll tell you who's there, what's there, and how much you can develop it. So far, only your starting position actually has 4 buildings you can place there as far as I've seen. Once a scout has shown you other hexes, you can claim one next to you by buying it with food, once all the hostiles are clear. It's also worth noting that any hostile next to you has a chance of attacking you at any given time, especially if there is a spawner on that hex. You'll notice that the GUI shows everyone's score at the top right and your title. This is the section for Fae, which is the one that the elk do best at. You will get a specific clan effect to come into play each time your fame rank increases. Next, we have the statuses over here. Like Civilization, you have to keep people happy, and that's done with getting new territories and having brewers, unless you trigger a special blend leading to the lore. In addition, your food rate and wood rate will constantly be keeping you on your feet in the whole game. More people eat more food, winter drops food and wood production, losing one of them causes freezing or death. Your money, called crowns, when it goes negative, buildings catch on fire, along with being poor. Let's commemorate the best farmers first though. Look at them, they're harvesting burning wheat, and I haven't even fixed their house yet. I'm busy building other stuff. This is great. Many later game projects cost money, and so does the War Chief, who is a must in this game, as he allows you to bind warriors to him so you can command all of them with just one thing. This is what replaces the wire bar that I was talking about in a Blizzard game. But unfortunately, you can only have one War Chief, so that's only one set of dudes unless you want to command all the other ones, which would get rather confusing fast. So I have to say that's one of the things that you might not like about this game, is this lack of being able to control all of your units at once. Unless you are the Wolf Clan, they get 2. These last 2 resources are interesting because there's a set amount of them in the world unless you trade. They will sit there for as long as they're unused and can be sold for a good sum at the cost of losing your stone for endgame money and all upgrades. 99% of the buildings can upgrade once for better efficiency. They all want stone. Or iron for your units and training a war chief. Speaking of units and war chief, next the list shows you your current population versus your current max population. The shield tells you how many warriors you have in your war band. To the right of that is your lore income. If you press L, you see the tech tree. You passively generate lore, but you can speed up the process by building a special rock or finding some lore generators out in the wild. Claim them instead of villager onto it, you get more lore. And lore is what you use to research with. So now we can take a look at the tech tree. Each tribe actually differs a little bit on this tree as to what they can learn, and it's pretty concise and self-explanatory. Other real-time strategies I've tried with this feature had too complex a tree for me to figure out before my enemies got an upper hand on me, or I'd go nuts hoping I did something right. Lastly, the GUI tells you all the kinds of units you have and how many of each. Above that is the current problems or idle tasks in your clan. Left click to address anything here, and right click to address it all. Especially when your buildings are on fire. It is much faster to right click on the flame than to fix each and every one by selecting the repair button. Also, any building that takes damage will continue to lose health until it blows up or you fix it again. Naturally, on the left tells you the map and the cycles of time. Exclamation marks tell you when a bad event will take place, such as an invasion or an earthquake. Best for last, we have feasts. Spend 100 food and your people go working on everything like crazy. The 24/7 all-you-can-eat buffet for a month simply makes life good. With all the tutorialness out of the way, and I've actually claimed a few tiles, let's get into the gameplay. The game has at least 4 objectives for you to accomplish, and the game actually pitches enough you will probably change the one you plan to do. Sometimes the world you are in will have its own special objective from the central gemstone of the map. Each map has a special structure marked with a golden star. I've seen that giant sword in the launch screen, the gates to Helheim, and the Tree of Life up to date. The Helheim Gate and Tree of Life both actually are their own objectives. The Tree of Life is guarded by tough mobs and costs an arm and a leg to purchase, but if you do, you will beat the game. You have to control Helheim for a full year to win that one, so you can bet that the underlings won't be happy if you stand on it. Other than that, there's a victory for getting so much fame, being the last clan standing, trade, which requires at least 4 merchants, so much money, and so much money being made from trade alone, and getting 15 of the listed items on the tech tree. Each objective takes dedication to get to, but with so many curveballs given to you by RNG, AIs, and how you play the game, the objective you want will change a lot. That's what I actually really like about this game, is there's constantly things to keep you on your toes, and there's a few times you'll have to wait. That's what I really like about this game, is that there's constantly things to keep you on your toes, and there are a few times you have to wait. And when you do, they're usually pretty tense. Like me trying to beat this computer, I had never even figured out where he lived to victory. Look at this feast! My men and I are singing songs of our inevitable victory as we claim the Tree of Life in 5, 4, 3... No! Anyway, the constant demands that pop up in this game makes it feel a lot longer than it actually is in real life, similar to a Super Amazing Wagon Adventure. It's also why I like the Goat Clan so much, because they're versatile enough to do any objective without too much trouble in switching that objective. Especially since they have the best defense with towers, not counting as buildings. Look, it's Bjorn, our new neighbor! He's gonna be a great friend, right? Well, I'm not so sure, because diplomacy has yet to be added, aside from a happy face when you trade, angry face when you've hit them a couple of times, telling me when we're in war, and for some nondescript time. The only thing you can actually ally with is a giant, they're called Jotnar, and that's by giving away food to him. Or you can just kill him like my great bully from the second playthrough, Hallstein. He wasn't even a Wolf Clan guy. He was an elk. I couldn't ever make a full recovery for long because he kept killing my guys whenever I got a couple warriors back. That was until my war chief wrecked him. But you know, bullying him back didn't even get me the win. He didn't even fight back much. I have a feeling that the blue guy had a war with Hallstein who did not win. Overall, the game is extremely replayable. I haven't even touched the surface of becoming an actual Viking that pillages towns and stuff with boats. or tried winning with fame, or trying to win by conquest, like a normal RTS. Even spawning near the enemy or a certain resource will totally change how the game progresses. I would highly recommend this game to anyone who wants a faster paced Civilization or Age of Wonders game, or likes RTS games in general. I imagine it will be a lot of fun in multiplayer, which will also come soon. Maybe there will even be competitions with it. Northgard releases on February 22nd, and it's going to be awesome. Thanks for watching my first glance review, and I'll see you guys in my next video. See you later.